Hello everyone, it's Kari back again with you on the channel to share a really fun holiday card. I'm going to be using some of my very favorites from Missing Stamps. This is the Ice Day stamp set and I just love these little penguins. I'm going to be using 3 different stencils. I've got the airmail frame stencil, the diagonal stripe stencil, and the high swirl frame placement stencil, which goes with this high swirl frame die. I'm also using the Eieio alphabet, and I'm using these little letters. It's called Lots of Letters, and it's a mini die set. I just have it placed on a larger magnet to keep with all my other mini dies. So I'm just going to bring all these things together to create a really fun Dear Santa card. To start, I'm going to tape down my panel. This is an A2 size panel, and then I'm going to take one of the airmail frame stencils and put it on, just holding it down with my magnet. I'm starting with some red ink, and I'm using a smaller brush to do this, which does take a little bit longer, but that just means I don't have to mask off the other airframe that's in the center. I'm just going to be using the outside frame this time. Next, I'll line up the second airframe stencil, and I'm going to use some green for this one. And again, I'll use a small brush to add that on. I love the look of the red and the green. Now, I've already cut out the high swirl frame die, which looks like a little ribbon, and I've cut it out of red glitter paper, and look at how beautiful that looks. I'm leaving in the little loops. You can take those out if you want to, but I'm leaving them in because I thought it added a little extra glittery pizzazz to this card, and I really liked it. So this is the high swirl frame placement stencil, and you can see that this is going to cover up the outside of the high swirl, and you can ink inside, or this will cover up even the loops, and then you can stencil inside of that. I'm going to use this one right here. And then I'm going to use my magnets to hold that down and then add the diagonal the diagonal stripes stencil right over the top of that. This way I can add some red stripes inside the swirl frame and it's going to look perfect. So I just love this placement stencil. It gives me the masks that I'm looking for, and there's also masks for the inside so you can stencil the outside of that ribbon frame if you wanted to. So much you can do. So look at that. That's going to fit perfectly on there. Now I've already cut out some of the mini letters and added some red wax seals to those. And so you can see those off to the left here. And I'm going to glue on our little swirl ribbon with the glitter. I'm just using liquid adhesive for this. Then I'll place that down on the panel. And then we can add the rest of our elements. So this looks really beautiful so far. I love it. I'm going to cut out some letters from the Eieio frame die, which has this great alphabet in it. It's a really fun alphabet. And I'm using one of my favorite tricks, which is to add some double stick adhesive to the back of the cardstock that I'm cutting out. And this is going to turn them into stickers. So it's really easy to place them. Of course, wait till you see what I decided to do. I decided to put these stickers with a little black shadow. So I cut out the letters with black as well. And I'm sticking the stickers on that black shadow. So I didn't add a sticker to the black shadow. Instead, I'm going to have to glue those down separately. But that's okay. It gives me an option to put the letters down and to arrange them the way that I want them to be, making sure all the other elements fit around it. So this actually worked out just fine. I'm going to add the letters to the top here. I've stamped out a few of the penguins and the elements from the Ice Day stamp set. And now I'm just going to color those up really simply. I'm taking some neutral grays, adding a wash of the lightest color gray, and then adding some darker shades and blending that through. And it's just real simple and fast to color a penguin like that and give it a little bit more color variation. So that's how I'm coloring my penguins up. I'm going to do both of them and color the Santa hat and the present to match our color scheme so far. Then I'll add a little orange to the beak and the feet, and a little bit of light yellow to their bellies, just to make that stand out a little bit more. Now I fussy cut these out, and when I fussy cut out those little antlers, I cut a little piece, I kept them together so that I could easily glue that onto the back of this penguin. I love all the extra accessories and elements in this stamp set. And then this little guy is going to get the Santa hat. So I'll glue that right to him. And then I'm going to add a present to his right side and glue a little candy cane onto this guy. So it looks like he's holding that candy cane, so cute. But before I put all that down, I decided it needed a postmark. So I'm going to add this stamp, but I better put those letters down before I stamp that on. I'm going to take this is the press and seal, the Glad press and seal actually, so you can pick up your letters all at once. Make sure they're arranged just right. Add the glue all at once and then press them back down. So this is so much easier to do than gluing them down one by one. It's a little faster, and also it keeps them in the spot that you had them for the most part. So I like to glue that down just like this, place it on my card panel, and lift up that press and seal so that I can make any adjustments if I need to while the liquid's still wet. Now I'm going to stamp down that little cancellation mark using some gray oxide ink. I'm just going to stamp it once because I want it to have a little variation in color. And now I can add some red around those letters. I'm just going to take a finger dauber and ink around them, and that will help it to stand out from the background and give it a little more color. See how those stand out from the background just a little bit more? Now let's go ahead and put our card together. I'm going to pop up the letters with some foam tape and also the little penguins with some foam. I'm going to put him about here, and then we'll add this guy with a little bit of foam as well. I am going to add some extra tiny pieces to those antlers just to give it a little extra support, and also a little tiny bit to the candy cane. That'll make sure we don't have anything dropping or falling. There we go. I'm going to put him right about there. And then we'll pop up the little present as well. And this card is starting to look well put together. I decided it needed one more candy cane for that little penguin on the right, so I'm going to color him up, fussy cut that out, and add that with a little foam and some liquid adhesive as well. And we're just going to add that to the right side of his little flipper. I love this little guy holding a candy cane in each flipper. So cute. Now we can add that to our card base. Finish gluing that on. And there we have our Dear Santa card with those cute little penguins, a little candy cane stripe in the background, a ribbon around the edge in glitter, and of course that airmail frame. I think it looks super cute. I just want to make sure those letters are pressed down well enough, so I'm using my Teflon bone folder to really burnish those down. And now we've got the cutest little Dear Santa card. I hope you enjoyed this video today. I really enjoyed making this card. I love all these elements from Missing Stamps. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate that so much. It really helps us out here. And I'll be back with more card inspiration real soon. In the meantime, happy crafting. I hope you're having a wonderful holiday season. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.